Okay, so a couple things to talk about before I go into the watch list video for Tuesday, August 18th. One thing I want to talk about is the SPY. This is the daily candle. I mean, they're not even candles, they're little plus signs, as we call them in chat. There's just no range at all, and it's because we've come from this monster sell-off and just slow grind over 4 or 5 months, and we're sitting right near all-time highs. Really, nobody's committing on either side. Add that to the fact that it's August trading, and it's just pretty damn dead out there. Now, I tweeted this today, since I'm always bragging about my beautiful equity curve, and remember, green dots are all-time highs. Well, it's only fair that I show this. And I tweeted this, and I said, look what I did today. Everything past this green dot, because I went out on my highs for all-time highs and highs for the year and all that stuff on Friday. So all of this was today. And this was an ugly trade. So I took a good chunk of my gains so far. This is August, by the way, for August. All of my August trades. Took a pretty good chunk out of them today. And somebody on Twitter replied something like, hey, are you going to show what you did, for an education purpose and all that? And that's a great idea, honestly. And Wayne always says, I'd rather show you my losing trades than my winning trades, because there's more value in them. There's more stuff that you can learn from a screw up than a beautiful trade that everything worked well. I totally agree with that. Here's why I'm not going to do it. I'm just flat out humiliated, ashamed, embarrassed, and every other word you can think of what I did today. Took a page right out of 10 years ago trading, 15 years ago trading. Like, just threw everything in the rule book out the window, and I can't blame anything other than that. I just came in. I had no idea when I logged in today that I was going to do something really this stupid, but I apologize. I know there's value in it. I can't do it. I can't relive it. So, by the way, this is maybe got a little bit of a turn up to maybe about here, because I did have a nice afternoon trade in IGC, which really I had no business trading anymore. But I kind of trusted myself that I wasn't going to take a trade unless I had what I deemed an A+ setup. So I had a decent little trade. So I don't know, maybe I'm up to about here right now. But did a little bit of psychological damage, because, as a trader, I hate having to say the words to myself, I can't effing believe I did that again. I thought I was past that. But it's not an account blow up. It's just, what's the word? Disappointing. There's so much self-loathing involved in being a trader that, sometimes you get used to it and you're like, yeah, I'm an idiot, but other times, I don't think hating yourself is very good for you. And so, you do try to laugh off your dumb mistakes, because there's just so much negativity when you do something really stupid and you take a big hit. There's so much negativity that goes on in a trader's head that it just can't be good for us. You know what I mean? And I actually like the fact that I run a chat room and teach a trading course. I actually kind of use that to my advantage, because when I do screw up, the first thing I do is I want to put it out in public, because you know why? That helps me hold myself accountable, right? I'm not secretly doing stupid stuff and nobody knows it. I make sure everybody knows it. So when I log in tomorrow, I'll hopefully act right, because I don't hide my mistakes. I try to own them, but knowing that hopefully will get me back on the straight and narrow as quick as tomorrow, right? All right, anyway, enough babbling. I don't have a very big list for tomorrow. Again, probably because of the SPY there, right? It's just done. Look at the volume. Volume was just ridiculously low. That was probably the first 10 minutes volume on the SPY back in June, right? Anyway, it's crazy how it dropped off, but it is August. So anyway, what are we watching tomorrow? LMPX, a very strong close, so absolutely worth watching tomorrow. Big volume. See if we get any kind of follow-through setup. XBIT topped out at the whole number. No, it didn't. I would say topped out at 20. Actually topped out at 1995. Kind of interesting over today's high tomorrow, though. We'll see. IGC is the one that I made my afternoon call in. Really, as a Tokyo, I said opening range breakout. Let's see, these are 5-minute candles. While this candle was forming, I called it long in chat over 190. But if I show you like 2-minute candles, it probably looked like this when I'd already typed out the idea that I liked it an opening range breakout. I also called it a possible Tokyo right here because you had the high of day just above. We already had it on watch. We knew we liked it above the high of day, and this volume was coming in, right? So I took some on the high of day break, but I'd also Tokyoed some in like, I don't know, 88, 87, something like that. Unfortunately, again, because I traded so poorly, I still didn't do great on this trade. I mean, I should have waited and sold some nicely through 2, and I think most of my shares were already gone below 2, and that again is a symptom of trading so poorly that I was so happy to be green, right, on this trade, so happy to take some of my money back from the morning that I ended up selling most of it below 2, which had I sold it on this second wave up, held all of it until then, I would have been green on the day. So anyway, that's just the nature of life. But anyway, we did get a decent bounce in this one, and I guess you could argue a fairly strong close. So I'm going to watch this for a potential long tomorrow. Tigger, I actually made a call on this one in the chat today too. TIGR over 670, right? It hit 670 here, hit it here. Friday's high was just a couple pennies above at 672. Had a seller on the tape at 670. And I know some of you got this. I actually didn't get it. I was, I was in and out today too after my morning blunder because I got contractors here and so on. So I was a little sidetracked anyway, but in no way am I blaming my day on that. I had made most of my mistakes before I even got sidetracked, honestly. Anyway, so a nice rip through 670 today and a really strong close actually. So the daily chart looks strong, so I'm putting it back on watch. I know some of you got that though, so nice job. CXW gapped up 4 days ago and it's really kind of just sideways below this 1014 recent high. So if it breaks kind of through this 4-day high, maybe it gets some maybe it gets a move. It had really big volume on Friday. SPAQ. I don't love this, but after this big move back here, it seems to have finally found support. And then if we go to an intraday, you'll see why it's on my radar. Really big volume spike today. Matter of fact, let's look at like a 5-day with 15s. So there you kind of, here's your support. It's finally gone sideways and then tried to break out today on volume. And didn't really succeed. It got through 13 and then right back down, but the little extra volume and the EV space, pretty darn strong. Tesla hit all-time highs, I think, today. Let me glance at Tesla real quick. Whoops, I typed that wrong. There's Tesla. Yeah, broke to all-time highs. So the EV space, certainly interesting. So that is another reason. It's probably why SPAC ripped today, although a week kind of closed, but definitely going to watch it tomorrow. VXRT, there's nothing that pretty here, but if I go to, say, 15-minute candles, this thing had a monster move. A few days ago, right? I mean, it started kind of around 9:20, went all the way to 12:40 before giving a chunk of it back in the afternoon and the rest of it back the next morning. So I don't really like this scenario. And then it went sideways for a few days. But today it was actually pretty strong. I mean, from 9:20 to 10:40 and still closing around 10:20. Maybe this has a follow-through day. When you go to the daily, I don't love it because, you got some people underwater from back here, but you also have really nice support from the last 7 or 8 days, and it's starting to curl back up out of that again. So for that reason, I'm putting it on watch. FLDM just continues to show strength. I don't have any kind of, hey, I like it over this price, but it did have this big spike back here to over 9, and it's kind of going sideways and feels like it's almost building and coiling. Decent volume today. So I'll watch and see if it gives any kind of a setup. Couple more. CETX, nice volume today, but closing well off its highs. I think they're talking about some kind of thermal scanner that they're putting in schools, to get people back to school, or maybe in some place to get people back to work too, looking for a fever, like kind of a COVID detector, I guess. I don't know. They were supposed to be on some kind of demonstration on LinkedIn or something, maybe. I don't know. And I'm sure it's over by now. I don't know how well received it was, but because of that volume spike and the headline, I'll watch it tomorrow. And then lastly, CLRO. This is a big volume day and still didn't hit 1 million shares, so it is worth noting that this is a thin stock. If you pan out, though, this $3 area, it got slapped down here, 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 and then so it's back up there again with a fairly strong close. So it's kind of near breakout territory, but I also want to point out it's had a lot of trouble with this 3 area, and it's come a long way intraday today to get there. So probably more due for a pullback than it is for a follow-through day, but I saw the volume and I threw it on the watch list. Hopefully we'll find some nice gappers in the pre-market as well. I think that's it. Yeah, I'm looking around. Maybe this FORD, whoops, maybe I add this to the list. FORD closed at 137, and after hours, this is trading at 267. Wow, I didn't realize it was gapping up that much. That'll be a potential gap play tomorrow too, FORD. That is not the automotive company. All right, I'm done babbling. We'll see you guys in chat tomorrow.